What's up, guys? Welcome back to CagedIn MMA. It's your host, Ebito Chiwa. And boy, we got a banger post UFC 291. Crazy card, obviously, but welcome back to episode 5. All right, obviously, you already know. Thanks for tuning in if you are tuning in. And first and foremost, we got to start off with Dana White call out. Yes, sir. I'm calling you out to 5 round fight. Nah, I'm kidding. But seriously, Dana White, come on. I've been a big fan of the sport for so long, I believe, over 10 years now. And man, obviously, I've missed so many events. I want to experience one event live. I've never experienced it live. But look, man, I bought all the pay-per-views already, right? Not like every single one, but I think I've bought every single one since GSP and Bisping, and I haven't failed a UFC event since then. And check out my ESPN account. I think they got receipts, things like that, and you can see, man, I've been buying it for so long. I deserve to fly out at least, right? Like I'd be spending on the ESPN pay per view, this Timex watch, these dolls and such, and man, like I need a sponsor, bro. Prime, come on, sponsor me, bro. I could be your new host. You know what I'm saying? Out here interviewing, just fighters and somebody who knows about the sport. I just consider myself a casual MMA fan, but I got some little something behind, on my resume. But anyways, Dana White, come on, please fly me out. Thank you very much. Next, as you guys know, trivia. All right. So if you don't know how this game works, it's 3 questions. Not like how trivia works, but like you get 3 questions. And if you answer right, congratulations. Give yourself a little pat on the back. If not, if you're listening it to this podcast with a fan, then or like with a friend, then if you get it wrong, be prepared to get punched or something. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I got 3 questions for you guys. Comment down below if you get it right, and let's go ahead and start. So, first question: how many decision wins were there on UFC 291? Crazy card, bro. One of the craziest, actually. So I'll give you a few seconds to comment down below or think about it, rewind your brain. And I'm talking all UFC 291, like early prelims, and main card. So go ahead. All right. So in total, we got 2 decision wins, bro. It's crazy. Like this card was insane, and obviously, like ended in knockouts, technical knockouts. Freaking, you got guillotine, arm triangle, arm bar, Darce choke. Like, oh, it was insane, bro. So if you guys were watching since early prelims to the main card, it was epic. Like literally off the bat. Like obviously, we're gonna get into the fights, but first fight already like a submission, bro. Like it's crazy. So definitely this card, like it definitely like it had its name, bro. Like the way they promoted it definitely it was worth the hype. And the card, man, like I know Dana White is super happy. I believe the arena sold out, and man, it's crazy. Utah fans, amazing. I was unfortunately watching it through TV, but one day I'll experience it live, right? So if you got that right, comment down below. If you got it wrong, no worries. But I would suggest you go back and watch these fights, bro. It was insane, beautiful fights. So second question is actually crazy. But how much did someone lose betting on Yan? And obviously, many people betted on Yan, but it was a big like bet, and it was one that was tweeted during the pay per view. So if you guys were live, well, congrats, you probably didn't see it, but for the people watching at home or such, let me know if you guys saw it. I'll give y'all 4 answer choices. So either 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, or $25,000. A, B, C, or D. We'll go like that. So comment down below what your answer is, and I'll give you guys a few seconds to answer. All right, so it ain't Amanda Nunes money. You know what I'm saying? Somebody lost 300K, which was crazy. But the answer is $20,000. They had Jan winning, and honestly, the payout I think was like $30,000. So you bet 20 to win 30. And man, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's a big chunk of money. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got a lot, it's still a big chunk of money to losing to a bet. So, you know, it's like that's the thing with the sport. Like, I understand how many people were like super, confident with Jan winning. He's gonna wrestle, and he started wrestling very early on. But obviously, like this is one thing, with Alex Pereira that we did not see. Man, his ground game, how well he's improved in wrestling takedown defense, and just to know, like obviously, like he's way bigger, man. Like I think he weighed in at like at post fight, he was like 228 I think overnight. So I may be wrong, but I saw a post about that. But anyways, somebody lost $20,000 last night. So let me know if you guys got that answer correct and you guys saw that tweet. Next question is a funny one. So obviously we love Derek Lewis, his celebration, what he does. That boy's back. You know what I'm saying? But we all saw him take off his shorts during his celebration. And if you guys know some OG fans or even some fans that haven't been in the sport long but long enough, um, we all saw the celebration before when he took his shorts off. Well, if you guys know, what other fight did Derek Lewis take his shorts off because his balls were hot? I'll give you guys a few seconds to answer. All right. So the answer is Volkov. Obviously, like it's just crazy, right? It's funny, but after Derek Lewis's win against Volkov, brutal knockout, uh, he took off his shorts after, and then Joe Rogan came in to interview him, and he was like, "Why'd you take off your shorts?" Which you called it pants. And if you guys saw in the post-fight conference with Derek Lewis, he was like, "Why is everybody calling it pants? They're shorts." And yes, they're shorts. So he took off his shorts. Joe Rogan was like, "Why'd you take them off?" And Derek Lewis, being Derek Lewis, he says, "Because my balls was hot." So obviously, just a funny, trivia question. But let me know if you guys got that answer correct. But I won't make this video as long as my other ones probably, but we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, starting off with early prelims, right? So let's start off with early prelims. Man, we definitely got a lot to talk about. Like I said, there was so many finishes, so many knockouts, so many submissions. There's a lot of like fights that shocked me. Like I was like, man, what the heck, right? Like a lot of these fighters are definitely upping their game. I mean, it's insane. So we'll start off with the early prelims. Miranda Maverick, obviously, and versus Priscilla Cochera. So this is women's flyweight division, and honestly, like if you guys watch the fight, Miranda Maverick, she won via armbar third round. This is the first fight, right, of the evening, and it was beautiful. Maverick, she showed dominance, like wrestling. I believe, like within the first minute, she already started wrestling. Now, Priscilla, she did a great job defending the takedowns. I believe Maverick only got 3 out of 9 takedowns, but when Maverick did stick the takedown, it was pure dominance from there, man. Like, Maverick, she went like 9 minutes control time, and it was just phenomenal. Beautiful performance by Maverick. But it's one of those that, man, like, going up against a very phenomenal wrestler and somebody who has amazing ground game and such. So, it very, it gets very difficult. And, one thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but so obviously Maverick got the win via armbar, right? And she set it up beautifully. Honestly, I believe she was in side control, went to top mount, and then, got the armbar. But one thing Priscilla, I would say she did wrong is, if many of you guys know, or have trained in the past and such, you guys know that if somebody's on like side mount and such, right, you put your leg like this, right? You go like this. So if the person is on this side, they don't get that, top mount or transition to full mount. And the thing that Priscilla did was, when Maverick was on this side, instead of bringing this leg up, she instead brought the wrong side leg up. So this left Priscilla very vulnerable right here. And what Maverick did was, she got on top, moved this leg out the way, and went straight to the armbar. So, that's one thing, for the guys who have trained in the past and such, to just keep in mind, right? Always, you want to always bring out, in defend on the ground, make sure, they don't keep improving their position. But, that's one thing that I feel like if Priscilla would have put the other leg up instead, then she probably could have, that probably couldn't have happened, especially it being in round 3. She probably would have still lost to Maverick, but who knows? Maybe it would have just been a decision win. But luckily, we got a finish for the first night and first fight. So, but it was a very good fight, and phenomenal performance, like I said, from Maverick. And yeah, Prime, please sponsor me, bro. Um, anyways, next, second fight of the night, we got Matthew Semmelsberger versus Uros Medic. And this was an amazing fight, man. Like, they definitely, they I mean, there's so much that happened during this whole fight. Like, both fighters, they got dropped, they got rocked, they got stunned, and it was pretty fast paced as well. And this is, by the way, the welterweight division. If you guys don't know these fighters, but Matthew Semmelsberger, he's 11-6, and Uros Medic, which he won, he's 9-1. So, like I said, it was a very good fight. Medic, I remember in the fight, Matthew, he had kind of took Medic down, but Medic, he did very well. Like, didn't let Matthew come in for the whole, ground and pound and everything. And Medic literally up kicks Matthew and rocks him. Right, he falls back, but as soon as Medic came up, Matthew literally stunned him. I believe it was with the right hook or right overhand right. So beautiful performance though. Medic, he has very good takedown defense. I mean, I don't believe Matthew took him down or anything other than rocking him falling, etc. But it was a very good fight from both of these fighters. But Medic came out on top. And man, like, the way it ended, right? Because it ended in the third round. And so first, if you guys saw, Medic, bro, he had an insane combo. Like, they were in the clinch, and then literally, like, once he breaks the clinch, he goes left hook, right hook, and then he basically, Matthew backs up, but then literally right after, Medic throws a spinning back fist, which dropped Matthew, and then he came in ground and pound, and ref called the fight. And he was kind of like, hey, like, I'm still in here. But that's sometimes, obviously, these fighters, they're fighters, right? They're too brave and strong for their own good. But luckily, that was a good stoppage in my opinion, and the ref did great stopping it there. And yeah, Medic came up on top, and beautiful, beautiful spinning back fist, and then leading to ground and pound finish. And you know, two finishes for early prelims, amazing, right? So let's go ahead and move on to the prelims. And first, starting off, man, I mean, there's so much. Like, I don't know if you guys like watch like early prelims, like, especially like I'm a huge fan watching the early prelims and prelims, simply because like these are fighters, either they're up and comers making their debut, or veterans in the sport, like trying to get back up to the top, right? And things like that. So they got so much to prove. They're hungrier. Like it's crazy. So anyways, we got Jake Matthews versus Darius Flowers. This is also a welterweight bout. And man, like this was honestly a beautiful performance from Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews, he's a veteran in the sport. Both fighters started off aggressively, right? Super fast paced fight. And, if you guys know, Jake Matthews, he's been in the octagon for, I believe, 9 years now. So he's definitely a veteran in the sport going up against Darius Flowers. And he definitely, both of these fighters did great. Don't get me wrong. There was once where Flowers, he got shot with a front kick, and Flowers said, it hit him in the nuts, and they showed the replay, and it definitely wasn't. Now, here's where it gets kind of iffy: is the fact that the top of the foot, so the toe area, etc., it hit right here, right in the below, like in the bottom part of your abdomen. But the heel, it kind of hit the cup. So but the whole force of the kick was straight to the stomach, but the heel did slightly touch the cup, but I don't think it was enough to call a nut shot. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I've fortunate enough have never been hit in the nuts before, like during anything like sparring or anything like that. I've been hit in the nuts, but not by like I'll say other men, whatever. But anyways, real talk. Like he did say uh, he got hit. Who knows how much force was in that heel bottom part of the kick, but definitely most of the force, if not 90% of it, was all in the abdomen. So they did take a break. The crowd went wild because that definitely to most people was not a nut shot. My opinion, it really wasn't either. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below, and yeah, let me know. But it was amazing. Flowers, obviously, immediately after that, they began to brawl again. And by the way, this was in the second round. And so Flowers, he goes for the takedown, and Matthew did a beautiful, like sprawling, right, sprawling it out, and didn't let Flowers finish the takedown or even get near the takedown at all. So then Matthews, he did a very good job. He had actually kind of like a Kimura lock. If you guys saw, it was kind of like a Kimura lock. And then he transitioned. Flowers, he kind of like, it seemed like he gave up because he went straight to, he fell straight to his stomach, and Matthews got the rear naked choke. But before he could squeeze it, Flowers was already tapping, right? So, maybe in Flowers, you know, his personal opinion, it was kind of like, well, like obviously he's already under the chin. There's no way escaping this. I'm done. I'm flattened out. He's under the neck. So, it's kind of like one of those where it's like, as fans, as people who enjoy the sport, especially like I would say even the coaches, right? It's kind of like one of those where it's like, man, like at least feel it before you tap, but also one of those in the other fighter's hand where it's like, like there's definitely no way to get out of this. I don't want to go to sleep, and it's over. The fight's over, and you just got to accept that, right? So but definitely Flowers, he's doing very well. He's 8-3 since moving up in weight class. So he's been a veteran of the sport. So especially being 8-3, especially in the UFC, like um, it's great. It's phenomenal. We've seen many people, maybe like start from the bottom, not do so great, and then become amazing. Huge example, obviously, if it first person that comes into mind, Charles Oliveira, man. Like, his whole career, up until a few years ago, man, like it was on and off here and there. He'll win some, lose some, win some, lose some, and then I would say like even after Kevin Lee, a little before, he just became so dominant. And many people think or say like, well, right when he had his daughter, and it changes your mentality and etc. I don't know what happened to Charles Oliveira, but it's phenomenal. So seeing this something like this through Flowers being 8-3 since moving up in weight class, it's amazing. It's great. So can't wait to see him and see what's to come for him as well. But anyways, next we got the middleweight bout, and this is crazy. This is a crazy fight, beautiful fight. I mean, bro, like if you guys saw this, even in the highlights, in the like on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be, like these head kicks are getting out of hand. And if you know what next fight I'm about to talk about, it gets crazy, right? So we got the middleweight bout, Roman Kapilov versus Claudio Ribeiro. So man, this was actually, it was insane. It was a beautiful performance by Roman, and it's he definitely outstruck Ribeiro, phenomenally. I mean, it was basically like I would say it was pretty much a one-sided fight. Up until like Ribeiro, he actually tagged Roman at the end of the first round, and he even almost knocked him out. I mean, it was a beautiful combination by Ribeiro, and that's the thing with this fight game is like no matter what minute was second or like how dominant the other fighter is being. Not saying uh, Ribeiro was dominant or anything, but just the fight game in general, anything could happen in the sport, right? So that at the end of the first round, um, Roman almost got knocked out, and but beginning that second round, but well, the first round Roman looked great. He was definitely outstriking Ribeiro, but then at the start of the second round, literally no shots were thrown. It was kind of like it reminded me of Leon Edwards, and Kamaru Usman. How literally at the fifth round, how Leon and Kamaru they were just kind of seeing each other, not throwing any shots, nothing, just like faking, a few jabs, a few kicks, seeing the reactions of the other opponent and such. And it was literally just like this. So Roman, literally, like nobody threw a shot. I think maybe Claudio, he kind of like shot a little like kick to the like to the legs of Roman, but nothing like to hurt or injure or anything like that. So literally no shots were thrown, and then at 30 seconds, a kick straight to the face, and it was crazy. Like obviously that knocked Claudio out, and then he obviously comes up right after with the fist to the face as he's knocked out. But man, like Kapilov, like he definitely threw an insane kick, and it was picture perfect, man. Like it was beautiful, set up beautifully. He definitely timed that perfectly. It was so quick too. Like it were like that kick. I was like, man, like that's like if you guys see like Yair Rodriguez how he kicks, is so fast like that. But to think like this is the middleweight division, where the middleweight division they're more slower and things like that. Uh, but man, like it was set up beautifully, and unfortunately, like Ribeiro, when Roman threw the kick, Ribeiro went for the an extended left hand, so he didn't even block or try to block the kick. So his hand was kind of down here, so it landed straight to the chin, dropped Ribeiro, and Roman got the win. And obviously, I believe he won Performance of the Night as well. And there was like 5 bonuses, which is beautiful. So definitely beautiful performance by Roman. Can't wait to see him. He's definitely obviously like one of the guys that is now trending, and it's amazing to see. This is what happens when things like that and you do things like that in the sport. So definitely beautiful. Obviously, nobody wants to get knocked out or see somebody get knocked out. Obviously, as fans, you do, but like just the injury behind it, things like that. But hey, man, like all props to Roman, Kapilov getting the win, and I can't wait to see what's next for this guy, man. Like he's 11-2, so he has a great record. And yeah, man, like let me know what you guys think. Was his what do you guys think here? Like, was his kick better than Leon's? Was it better than Gaethje's? And we'll get to that as well. I don't want to spoil too much. if you guys, I'm sure everybody has seen the fight, especially if you guys are tuning in. But like I said, who knows, right? But let me know what you guys think. Rank it 1 to 10. Obviously, most people are gonna say 10, but like of all time, I'll say. So it's a bit harder, right? So yeah, comment down below. Next, we got CJ Vergara versus Vincius Salvador, and this was one of the fights that actually ended in decision. So just one of the two, and great performance by both fighters. Actually, it was a very good close fight, and honestly, it could have gone either way, right? So even if CJ or Salvador, whoever won, obviously CJ won. But even if Salvador won, like I don't think many could have been like, no, 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 right? So it was kind of like it wasn't that it was super one sided either, right? So both fighters did great. Now CJ Vergara, he did win unanimous decision, 29-28. So but very close, beautiful shot. At the end of the day, CJ did land more significant shots. I believe Salvador, he had more shots thrown in total, but by like a few. But CJ definitely landed more. So I did have CJ winning personally, or just winning the fight personally, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think, right? Not many people debated that win. It was definitely a close fight. So like I said, it was one of those fights that many people are just like, oh, okay, like yeah, I could see that, right? There was no like, oh no, 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 this is why you can't leave it up to the judges. No, it was one of those fights that you know definitely could have gone either way. I had CJ at the end of the day, but and he did end up winning. So I just feel like he did more significant strikes. He did more to have that win. But beautiful fight. I believe there was maybe one takedown in the fight. Somebody had like one take. I can't remember perfectly, but there might have not been many. I think it was mainly stand up. So yeah, but like I said, this was a decision win. Beautiful performance by both fighters, and hope to see them again. Like I said, they put on definitely a fight for sure. So next we got the final fight of prelims. We got Gabriel Bonfim versus Trevin Giles. So this was very good. It was a fast paced fight, and literally they came and just started banging like right off the bat, and it was very fast paced. They definitely um, took it straight. Try to, I believe, not really give a performance as a fighter. You still want to be technical, but they definitely went in for business. So Bonfim, he got the win. He's 15-0 against Trevin Giles, which is a great opponent, I believe, and was a great matchup for him. But definitely Bonfim, man, he easily like took it to the ground. Like it was no like, oh, like he had a hard time or anything like that. No, like it was a beautiful, like very dominant performance by Gabriel. So it was just like I said, beautiful performance. He quickly took it to the ground, and his submission game is off the charts, right? You know, uh, if you guys know this guy, like I said, he's 15-0, and he's very good on the ground. I believe his last fight he also won by guillotine. So literally, like he was on top of on top of Trevin Giles, and then quickly he switched to the guillotine. And many people, they'll like, it's very bad to go to your back, right? Even when attempting to get the guillotine or anything like that, But man, like Gabriel, he definitely straight got the guillotine, locked it in super tight, went to his back, extended himself, and got Giles to tap. So, definitely beautiful performance by Gabriel. He's 15-0, and can't wait to see what's next for him, man. He's a Brazilian, and these Brazilians, man, they definitely like their MMA game is impeccable. So especially their submission game. Obviously, we see many Brazilians, obviously, with great Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, makes sense, obviously, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But anyways, like I said, these prelims, early prelims, beautiful performance. I enjoyed this everything that this fight card had to offer, honestly. So it lived up to the hype, and I'm excited, man, to see all these fighters fight again. Like, even some like that obviously are unfortunately on the early prelims and prelims, but they all definitely, especially like the Utah crowd. I was listening, and it got packed pretty early compared to other arenas and other fight events and stuff like that. So, definitely that tells you that, like, this fight card definitely like had a lot of great fighters. So, I'm definitely excited what's to come with the future, and I'm very happy to see fight fans now coming in for the early prelims and prelims. Man, it makes me excited because just being a fan of the sport for so long, it's one of those where it's like, man, like many people sleep on the early fighters, man, and the up and comers and things like that. You got to understand that the fighters at the top, they were prelims as well. You know what I'm saying? Other than like just a few, literally a few. But other than that, man, it's a beautiful performance. But let's go ahead and move on to the main event of the evening. Let's go. And man, like this main event was crazy. If you guys haven't seen my reaction videos, I got like a couple of them on TikTok, Instagram, I believe, and they'll be on YouTube as well. So, like I said, I mean, it was insane, right? I love the main event. The crowd went wild. It was a beautiful vibe, and I just love these fights. So obviously, we got Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland in the welterweight bout for the first fight. And man, like, I don't know what you guys thought about it, but I saw, man, Kevin Holland looked phenomenal. Like, he definitely like it. This fight didn't play out how I thought it would. Honestly, I thought it was gonna go more rounds, maybe second or third round. But as in like maybe like more towards decision. I did see it ending up in a finish, but I didn't think it would end up in a submission. Honestly, I really didn't think so. If it was submission, I thought Michael Chiesa would have got the win, but luckily, Kevin Holland, man, he showed a lot of dominance. In the striking game, even in his takedown defense, beautiful. I remember like after he got the submission win, he went to DC and he was like, you like that? You see what you think about my defense? You like it? And obviously, we know Kevin Holland in his previous fights, he's talked to DC. He's like, hey man, like give me some tips, even to Habib and everything. So luckily Holland has definitely been working on his takedown defense, and he defended them takedowns very great. So obviously Holland, he drops Chiesa, and he got the Darce choke. So he set it up so perfectly because not he dropped him, and it's like he knew exactly what he was going for. Most fighters go straight to the ground and pound and everything. If anything, but you got very few fighters such as like Charles Oliveira, who when they drop somebody, they go straight for a submission. So luckily, or very excited seeing Holland, right, just go straight for see an opening, especially with the Darce choke, right when he drops Michael Chiesa and making that finish. So, you know, uh, Kevin Holland, congrats. And, he did say in the post fight conference that, the BMF, it left the division. So he plans on actually moving up in weight back to the middleweight division. So, we'll definitely see what's to come in the middleweight division for Kevin Holland, especially like now we see that definitely his takedown defense has definitely upped its game. So, I'm very excited to see that fight. Very excited to see what's to come. And hopefully, Kevin Holland, like I said, he's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's a great, grappler. Obviously, he's fought bigger guys. So it's kind of like, and great wrestlers to the fact that, he's we see him get taken down very easily. But luckily, like I said, he defended it greatly. He's going back up to middleweight, and we'll see what's to come with Kevin Holland. But one of those that you just can't get enough. He's a talker. We in the sport, many people love it, and yeah, I'm definitely excited for Kevin Holland, man. He's one of those that is always should be on the main card. Next, we got lightweight bout Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. And honestly, I'll say this: both fighters look great. Bobby Green, obviously, I kind of he definitely he impressed me many times with his striking and his actually what because I already know Bobby Green has amazing striking, but it was his takedown defense and his grappling that impressed me very much, especially versus a guy like Tony Ferguson, black belt, I believe from 10th Planet. And it's very phenomenal seeing Bobby Green winning by an arm triangle and the way he did, and he outstruck Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, don't get me wrong, he looked great, right? He was tagging Bobby Green. He was he put on a great performance, but unfortunately Bobby Green, he just seemed like the bigger guy, the more dominant guy. Seemed like he, especially going to the ground, like Tony Ferguson, that was their game plan. I don't know if you guys heard the corner saying like, hey, like great, try to level change again and things like that. But unfortunately, Bobby Green, being the veteran he is and being the fighter he is, especially like you got to understand, he prepared somewhat for the Islam fight, right? He knew Islam was going to wrestle, so he definitely. I'm sure that Bobby Green has been focusing more on his wrestling and stuff like that by being dominated like that. So definitely great performance by Bobby Green. Ferguson, he looked great, but it's unfortunate. Like Tony Ferguson, this is his sixth loss right in a row, and honestly, I I wouldn't be surprised. I was surprised with him not staying in the cage and retiring then and there. But also, he didn't go out on a win. But here's also another thing where it's like, will Dana White, talk to Tony Ferguson and be like, hey man, like you've lost 6 fights in a row. It's time to hang it up. You're out of here. I can't see you get hurt anymore. Things like that. So like I said, it was kind of upsetting too how Tony Ferguson, he was like going to tap and then didn't want to. Unfortunately, got just went unconscious. I believe it seemed like he went unconscious, but at the same time he didn't. So like I said, it was 7 seconds left on the clock, I believe. So it was actually a beautiful finish from Bobby Green, but with only 7 seconds being left, but unfortunately, like I said, what's to come with Tony Ferguson, and will he announce his retirement or will he be forced to retire by them firing him? So we'll definitely see. He looked great though. He really just looked healthy, but unfortunately, like I said in this game, Bobby Green, he definitely dominated, and so yeah, he got the win by arm triangle, and Bobby Green looked good, and I can't wait to see what's next for Bobby Green as well. He's one of those that has came up in the sport and has been now becoming a fan favorite, especially with his personality and everything. Especially many people were saying, like even in the press conference, um, like Bobby Green was the only one trying on the mic, like they not many fighters kind of like there wasn't much trash talk, and it seemed like Bobby Green, he was trying to get the hype there and things like that. So like I said, he's becoming a fan favorite as well, especially the kind of person he is, his background, everything. He could, who knows, he could be one of the ones who fights for the BMF title. What you guys think? So comment down below what you guys think about that. Actually, that wouldn't be bad. That's actually that's that's a good matchup, man. I need to go to these matchup, you know, Tuesdays. So, anyways, next we got Derek Lewis versus Marcos de Lima, man. And give me a sec. And Beautiful performance by Derek Lewis. This is actually a crazy fight. And the way it started, man, like, it's one of those where you're like, sheesh, like, what the heck? Like, nobody expected Derek Lewis to come out blazing like that. Not with the flying knee, at least. Maybe like punches like Ngannou did to, Rosenstrike. But, man, like, what? Like Derek Lewis, the fact that he could jump like that. I mean, he do got a six pack now, though. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? But Derek Lewis, beautiful flying knee, goes in with the ground and pound, starts pounding on DeLima, and then DeLima gives him the back. DeLima, all he could do was cover up, and Derek Lewis literally beat him. Ref called it, and he won the fight. Literally, like, I think it was like 33 seconds, if I'm not wrong. So, was it 33 seconds? I think it was 33 seconds. Could have been earlier, actually. But obviously, it could have been stopped earlier. But definitely beautiful, beautiful flying knee, especially having it in the BMF card with Jorge Masvidal there, who is obviously an icon to the flying knee. Um, like I said, beautiful performance by Derek Lewis. Looked great. He's so funny. Obviously, he took off his shorts again, and he celebrated. Obviously, once he took off his shorts, everybody went wild. I think he took off his cup even right when he put his shorts back on. But like I said, beautiful performance by him. He is a free agent now, so you know what? I I hope he signs the contract again with the UFC. He did say he still wants to be in the UFC, especially like I doubt like going out. I doubt he won't renew it going out with what he just did. Like I said, I said in my last episode, I don't believe Derek Lewis is a prelim fight. I believe he should always be on the main card, win or lose. Definitely a main card fighter. So, let me know what you guys think about that opinion I have regarding Derek Lewis. He's definitely a fan favorite. Such a just an entertainer as well. So I love seeing Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis talked about his previous losses. I talked about this as well. Him being the fighter he is, it's just also like, it's unfortunate how he was dominating some of these fights and lost, got clipped and things like that. But now he's looking in phenomenal shape. Obviously, he talked about his wife, saying like she likes him even more now because he has a six pack. And he's like, man, like I've been fat for 14 years, big for 14 years, and you saying you like me more because I have a six pack now. So it kind of hurt his feelings. But also, man, he talked about Ronda Rousey, right, while having his wife. So, it's just funny. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And like I said, obviously, everybody, I'm pretty sure they love the fight. They love seeing Derek Lewis celebrate. They love seeing Derek Lewis entertain. And I hope to see a contract renewal with Derek Lewis and the UFC. So, definitely, like, I can't wait to see what's to come with Derek Lewis. And I'm just glad he isn't retiring, right? He hasn't really talked about retirement. And I want to see him, man. I want to see him back at the top, especially with John Jones and Stipe coming out of the game. That the heavyweight division is definitely opening up more. Maybe Derek Lewis versus who knows, man? Like who definitely knows? Derek Lewis versus um man, like there's so many great fights as well for Derek Lewis because I'm trying to think of more like uh maybe because I was thinking of him doing a rematch, but then him getting a new opponent, things like that. So who knows? Definitely, I can't wait for this heavyweight division. It's definitely, you got a lot of big guys in the game. So next, we got Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight belt contender. And beautiful performance, beautiful fight. This is the second decision win. And like I said, there was only two in this whole fight card. But yeah, like beautiful performance by Alex Pereira. I believe that he shocked us all. Obviously, Jan Blachowicz, we kind of knew his game, knew his strategy, right? And he was just going to wrestle. and literally within the first 10 seconds, he got the takedown, I believe. But Alex Pereira, man, after the first round, he even the first round though he defended it great, right? Jan Blachowicz went for the takedown, and Alex Pereira defended the takedown great, especially like how easily Jan Blachowicz took Izzy down. Um, Seeing that obviously Alex Pereira, he was able to, he has definitely upped his game, training with Glover Teixeira, definitely, improved his ground game, his takedown defense. And, we definitely obviously know Alex Pereira is a great striker, one of the best strikers in the game right now, especially with his whole background in kickboxing. You know, but Alex Pereira, I believe, shocked so many people with his takedown defense, being able to get up from Jan Blachowicz, control. So that was actually astonishing because, obviously we could talk about the weight difference with Izzy and Jan Blachowicz. I believe Izzy was weighing 193, and Izzy just couldn't do anything. He couldn't get back up on his feet. Jan Blachowicz definitely seemed that also after the first round he gassed out. If this was a 5 round fight, this was for the title, I believe that Alex Pereira would have got the knockout. So because of how drained Jan Blachowicz was. So like I said, man, Alex Pereira definitely put up a great performance, great takedown defense, got up beautifully, and it's just definitely not only that, Alex definitely dominated on the feet. This is actually crazy because Jan Blachowicz, he outstruck Izzy, right? He definitely dominated not only on the ground but on the feet as well. And to see that Alex Pereira dominated Jan Blachowicz even more on the feet, it's impressive, man. So, not only that, Jan, like I said, he couldn't keep Alex down or anything like that. So Alex did seem to keep himself open because Jan Blachowicz, even, he kind of got the similar shots on Alex that Izzy did on Alex. He was going for that overhand right, hitting near the temple, things like that. So Alex Pereira definitely has to look out, cover his head more. And, there was a picture where Alex Pereira was going for a left hook, and he kept that right hand up. So that was, beautiful from Alex Pereira. But I think he needs to keep it up a little higher to cover up that temple. But anyhow, obviously Alex Pereira, he knows what he's doing. I'm just a fan. But I can't tell, like, I'm not no coach or anything like that. Like I said, these fighters know what they're doing. But like I said, Alex Pereira, he definitely still won the fight. And, it was kind of like one of those at the end of the third round where Jan Blachowicz also, he got the takedown late in the round, but Alex did more on his back than Jan did with that takedown. So, it was kind of one that also, like, it seemed like Alex, he accepted that he was gonna get taken down because he kind of just fell, So like I said, but luckily, it didn't really count towards against Alex Pereira. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. But Alex is definitely, he's getting the title shot in the light heavyweight division. He's definitely, rose as a star quickly and greatly. But I wonder who he's going to get the title shot against. Will it be Ankalov? Will Yuri come back? Will Jamal Hill, be back? So you got three fighters, fight contenders that will be going up against Alex Pereira. Just the question is when and who, right? So will it be Ankalov? Will it be Yuri? Or will it be Jamal Hill? Jamal Hill is the most recent one to get injured, so maybe not him. But if Yuri comes back, obviously it'd be Yuri. Or if Yuri and Jamal Hill still are out, then it will most likely be Ankalov. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you believe that he should stay in the light heavyweight division, if he'll stay dominant for long, who will probably beat him. And that was actually another thing I was thinking of for a BMF belt, I believe. Obviously, we got the BMF belt, but that would have been another crazy fight Alex Pereira versus Yuri. Like, what you guys think about that fight? I think that would be a crazy fight because both guys, their like background and everything is just so like it's one of those where like you just think about like, oh, like um one of those old kickboxing movies like The Kickboxer, or like even like one of those like the Drunken Master vibes with like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, John Claude Van Damme, like those kind of old style fighters and things like that. It is just funny, right? The main one I'm thinking of right now is John Claude Van Damme. How in one of the movies he's like kicking bamboo, right, to fight this very dominant kickboxer that I believe killed his teammate, I believe it was, and then he kidnapped his brother. But anywho, like I said, that was just came to my mind. Let me know what you guys think about that. But next, the final fight of the night, the main event of the evening, we got Dustin Poirier versus Justin the Highlight Gaethje. Bro, this was a crazy fight, right? And like I said, my reaction is in my TikTok and Instagram, I believe. So go check that out. I was so shocked, like especially a head kick, bro. Justin Gaethje winning by a head kick knockout. Who would have thought? Like, I mean, maybe a punch straight to the chin or anything like that. And I actually called it. I said either Justin Gaethje is going to win by knockout or Dustin Poirier is going to win by submission. But I did not think it would go to distance, and it did not, and it did not disappoint, right? So Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje, man, like Justin Gaethje looked phenomenal, actually. And I believe, in my personal opinion, watching the fight, he outstruck Dustin, man. Like it was kind of like he was hitting him with the bangers. He was outstriking him. His head movement was great, right? Slipping Dustin's punches. So, like I said, man, like it was great. It was great performance by Justin, and Justin luckily won by in round two with the head kick. And I in the post fight interview, Joe Rogan, he asked him, he was like, "Well, did you plan that? Did you practice that?" And Justin Gaethje was like, "Nah, like I did it once against Fiziev, and he was like, all right, that looked good." And he decided to do it again, and it landed perfectly right behind the head of Dustin Poirier. And the way Dustin Poirier fell, right, he fell just like Kamaru Usman did, and just it was crazy. And to talk about, hold on, let's acknowledge Herb Dean coming in with that slide. And many people are saying like, I love the comments. I love the internet. Obviously, never seems to disappoint. How they were relating Herb Dean with the WWE coming in with the elbow and things like that. Super funny. But Herb Dean is the best in the game, coming in with the slide, saving him from any more brutal shots. Obviously, Justin landed after that knockout, one fist to the face. But again, like you can only go to these fighters so quick. Obviously, Herb Dean has to stay the distance, but the way he came in, way to protect Dustin Poirier, man, Herb Dean is definitely one of the best in the game. And I just, I love the way he refs and will, like I said, dive for the safety of these fighters. So beautiful performance by Justin Gaethje and beautiful performance by Herb Dean coming in with a final elbow finish. Right? Nah, I'm kidding. But all respect to Dustin Poirier, all respect to Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje, man, like what's next for Justin Gaethje? He said in the post fight interview he wants that title fight, right? He's already fought for it twice. He's came up short, but will he get one more shot? I think the fight to make with Justin Gaethje will be Beneil Dariush, right? So whoever wins, or if Justin Gaethje wins against Dariush, I think they should fight the fighter uh, with Islam and Charles Oliveira. So, who knows how that fight will play out. If Charles Oliveira wins, maybe Islam versus Dariush. If Charles Oliveira, and that would be great. Like, if Islam gets the win again, Charles Oliveira, he loses, unfortunately. Maybe Justin Gaethje versus Beneil Dariush, and then winner gets Islam. Even though Beneil lost to Charles Oliveira, is still a different matchup, right? So, these fighters are fighting for gold. So, Beneil Dariush versus Justin would be a great title fight contender for Islam or Charles Oliveira or just the title in general. So, like I said, Justin already lost to Habib and Charles Oliveira. So will he lose to Islam as well? Who knows? But definitely it brings up that you know just that conversation, right? So, like I said, it was a beautiful performance by Justin Gaethje. I can't wait to see more of him. And who knows? Maybe Justin Gaethje also fights Conor McGregor. Obviously, we saw Conor McGregor, or I don't know if you guys saw, but Conor McGregor tweeted, he was like, "I'll slap Justin around." Right. So, it was just a funny tweet. Many people laughed at it. There's a lot of media going after it. And also, will Connor, what weight class will he fight at, especially seeing how big he is? Well, also he's cut weight, I believe, during the Ultimate Fighter series and such. So, I'm definitely excited just to see these fighters, man, see what's to come. Now, unfortunately, Dustin came up short. Dustin, he was brave enough to, still do the interview at the end. And much respect to Dustin, man. I got nothing but love for Dustin. He's a great fighter, very humble man, and just great all around. Right, his spirit, his what he does for his community, super great. So, what will Dustin do? Uh, will he retire, man? Especially losing to it wasn't a title, contender or anything like that. So will this be the end of Dustin Poirier? Will he stay in the game? What's to come? He's accomplished so much. He's fought many greats. He's been in the sport for so long. He's done, he's cemented his name for legacy. So, it's definitely, one of those where what's to come, what is next for Dustin, the Diamond Poirier. So, let me know what you guys think about the fights. Let me know, just what you thought about UFC 291. And, it was a great performance by all these fighters. And there's so much more to talk about, even in, now we're talking about post UFC 291, obviously. But I don't know if you guys also, like I said, this is MMA. So, kept up with boxing as well last night. Crawford versus Spence Jr. Beautiful performance by Crawford, and many people are saying him walking out by Eminem. Like it was kind of like, bro, like the opponent's gonna lose. Like once Eminem takes you out, like that's it. Like Eminem is literally like people are saying like, oh, he's the GOAT. Like nobody like it's just that energy, right, that he gives. So beautiful performance by him. Obviously, if you also guys have also been keeping up with Pitbull, Cruz. What's next for him as well? Will he fight Gervonta Davis? Will he fight, Ryan Garcia? Like, there's so much going on in MMA, and it's just a beautiful sport, right? So, like I said, this mixed martial arts. We're going to be talking about wrestling, boxing, MMA, UFC, things like that. So, um, man, like I just can't wait what's to come in the future. But thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, this is Caged In MMA episode 5. It's your host, Ebitsu Chiwa. If you guys haven't, go ahead, like, share, subscribe. And, I'm still doing the fighter picks, fantasy, MMA, things like that. So I'm just hoping this grows. Like I said, don't forget to tag Dana White. I'm trying to experience one of these fights live. So, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in and peace. I'll see you guys on the next.